Ciao, my loves. This is Gemma with your March full moon reading. First off, let me just say that coming into this reading, it was very heavily channeled. So if you're reading the blog, know that it's going to be exactly what came through, and I'm going to just recorrelate this for you guys. There is so much stirring, but I really want to start this off by saying we are rebuilding on such a new level, and we are literally on a new plane. Energy is going to pick up pace, and it is really from this beginning of this month, it is drawing inward for expansion. So it's like, check out the new moon reading, but I talk about this radiation that's occurring, this emanation. So there might be a lot of points that are referring back. Just understand that these energies are now taking another level of expression. And check out some of the other readings that I reference as well. I hope this serves you. And from the bottom of my heart, allow these things to unfold and move through you and not be held. And if you want a personal reading, all of that information is down below. So let's get into it, shall we? All right. Eternity is being aspected. This is, for some of you, deeper things that are within the seed of your being that has gone through many life cycles that is now coming into fruition for expression. It's also, we are working with what we call the milky waters, so soma, the eternal. It's how we draw life, the everlasting life, or the Ouroboros, the snake that eats its tail. It's essentially how we are creating a new karmic wheel or cycle. Desires have been purified and are continuing to be purified for some of you. Many of you, this is going to be evolutionary. What I mean by purified, I mean is the shell and construct, the rules, the order, the needs to be, should be, the influence and tainting from the other forms has broken away. So now the soul is reconnecting with the depth of its seed. And that's where this month is kicking us off. So March is the new year, essentially, in the ancient calendars, okay? This marks law and reason. There's an ordering of law that is taking form. I really wanted to talk about this ordering. Essentially is the laws. Like attracts like, the law of rhythm, the law of duality, the polarity, all of these hermetic laws, these principles that govern our world is the ordering of law that is taking forward. And of course, it's going to shift in our physical world. We're going to see government shifts and changes in that way. It's also going to shift how you order your life, how you apply yourself, how you regulate yourself, how you restrict yourself. All of these things have been unfolding, and now they take the higher purpose for justice, right? To move divine energy with a new purpose. So a new ordering. This truly is a beginning of a new epoch. Start to notice how the earthly affects your mental state and your emotional body. This is starting to come up again. But we're in a more refined realm, right? So energies are building and gaining form. The wisdom carried forward is going to show you how to be fruitful with your efforts. Understand your resources. The resources, that's the resources with life, with elemental, with energy, with your awareness, with, yes, your financial resources. All of these things are tied. They're just the same energy in different planes of expression. It is going to be about serving the collective to know the self. This full moon moves this year into understanding collective relationship to know the self. Mars rules this month, and it is, it's a warrior. It's going to call forward a lot more courage. And it's going to rebuild the ego and the inner mind. Check out my video on Mars and Prana. This is very pertinent. Mars is responsible for not only building the blood, but the pituitary gland, the ego, how we move and transform. This is all shifting. We have shifted into a new time frame. And this month, and especially now, is marking fertilization. It's the seed within you is occurring. And it's carrying the next generation forward through wisdom and order. It is the merger of like what you've known, what you've been through is completely gone. It's just the consciousness of how to proceed, not the shell or how it looks like anymore. You must protect the seed. Keep the movement and execution close to your heart. Whatever is arising within you, and a lot of you are having deep dharmic stirrings. Don't go out there and tell everybody about it. Now is not the energy. It is about honoring the seed and serving it. This is also the masculine serving the feminine in protection. These are aspects within ourself. This is the drawing inward for emanating out. This is our external world that is occurring as well. There's going to be contracts that are carried out like service, but these contracts are beyond lives, and it's going to be intended for life. So I also want you to keep in mind, because this is coming through, is contracts of like what you desire sets forth a contract because it will be given to you, and then you must receive it. It must be a two-way street. This is very, very important. It's like the two of coins moving through unity or infinity. It's also contracts, yes, from previous lives. It's also things that you didn't complete before that is now coming up and wants to have life. It is also contracts, your word, certain things that are how you set karma in motion is basically going to have a retraction. It's going to give and it's going to take. So things will be rectified. There's many of you are going to receive what you've wished for. And everybody collectively is being asked to receive what you have already put in motion in creation. So whatever you have put in your field of thoughts and desires, you must accept it and rectify it. There's receive the abundance that is from you. Receive the wealth that is given to you. Receive the gifts that are knocking on your door, that are alighting within you. These are all part of the next framework for the creative desires. And now it's going to move into the earthly by ordering the divine intelligence of like attracts like and starting to create new frameworks for expression. So now is the time for you to understand how you are drawing through the milk, the soma, the immortal nectar, the life restoring energy. This is going to show you a karmic give and take, and we are all going to see the true cost of things, and the value is being revealed. As the value has been started to shake around January, I kept talking about truth and justice and valuation. This is being revealed. We're seeing the true value. That is the underlying consciousness that connects us all as well. Take responsibility for your personal beingness, your own state of being. Right now, the ownership is moving the mind to understand the nature and the effects of energy exchange, as well as it is going to illuminate through junctures, through connections and links. You're going to know yourself through the other, whether that's your external world, your job. I talked about this last month. This is moving on all levels of life. Love, yes, of course. Everything is going to be reflected, but it's also going to be reflected in the connection. So not only your connection with this, because this is the reflection to September, but also the junctures, the links that connect us, karmic links, energetic links, exchange, refraction, all of this, the wisdom is breaking through the cracks. This full moon the sun is in a different position than the new moon. It's going to mark a different key and reflective component to the soul's transition. This is really important because the ego mind is relinquishing its power. There's a sacrifice and an understanding of interconnectedness within masculine and feminine, within our world, within our creative. It's also affecting the mind and the resources drawn through it. The drawing of the nectar has begun to separate according to vibrations. We are moving into where the planes within the mental and emotional body, within the sub-realms, within the subtle refinement is starting now to move into, to accumulate into their order, their plane of vibration, okay? This is understood as like symbolically as when the wild or the hunt begins to move into refinement or order, moving into classifications. It's important to remember to remain undefined so nature and natural ordering can occur through reception and not through disordered, distracted energies. Energies are still very frictional for a lot of people are being pulled in two worlds. Remember, we have this spiritualizing that is occurring. This then is going to awaken some of those things that were occurring in the spiritualizing. That's what this new moon or full moon is intended to move us forward into, okay? So whatever comes into your mind and emotion is starting to fill the collective and the individual space very quickly. this interconnected, there are no boundaries between us all anymore. This like concept of delineation and separation between classes is breaking away, our walls. And I want you to understand the walls of the shell, the walls of the way we used to create pleasure and pain, the walls we used to create definition, the ways, all of it, distinction is starting to break away. This is expanding energy, but it's also drawing inward. I want you to understand, because of this collective interconnection that's starting to happen in the opening between the junctures, I keep seeing is everybody will rise and must take responsibility for your beingness, what you are holding within your sphere, what your mind is doing, what your mind is creating, because that is how it's drawing down into all of our worlds. This keeps coming through. A new city will rise. Take it however you want, but symbolically as well, that is your own city, your own legacy, what you were building, your own framework. The expression of the feminine is carrying forward the wisdom and the seed of knowing. So everything is coming through this creative rebirth. It is the pure soul and desire. There's also, this is very movement-focused energy. So movement is creating awareness. And I want you to know, this is the laws of nature and it's the laws of the sacred science. The spark will actually create the shift, and it's going to bring to light what is dull. Hear me out. It is illuminating what is dull. We have a merger of light and dark and understanding, two sides of the same coin. It will synchronize time. It's weird on how this is working through time, but all of you are going to experience it a little differently, especially for those of you that are either Virgo and Pisces or Capricorn, Aquarius, or Leo. These movement shifts are really showing how time is working within space, okay? So for some of you, it's past, it's other things, but essentially, you must learn how to access your higher self beyond the confinements of time and space, of bringing things through a life-death cycle, beyond a karmic wheel. This is asking for a higher shift of the ego integration, okay? For many of you, there are going to be swift changes. There's like that. I kept saying the tower to the judgment, then to the fool. It's like the mind has a direction to move. The mind's direction is what's going to move new waterings forward. It's how you're going to water the seed within your soil. Okay. Another aspect that's coming through very profoundly is honor your ancestors. This is the forms of past mind, the self, past desires, past experiences, past lives, your bloodline, you're not your bloodline, your everybody that has come before you in realms not known to you. Just honor every process, every consciousness, every experience, every thought, every emanation of divine creation that has been experienced by you. You stand on that deathbed to rise. Those lives, those interactions, those self, that world, that blood, and this earth, everything that you have consumed, you have embodied and been a part of the evolutionary cycle for all of it. It is time for us to stand and recognize what has fallen before us in order for us to recognize what we need to carry forward and what needs to emerge from. You stand at the precipice of a grandeur that has never been known before, but it must arise from within. It is the poison that restores the inner sun. This is the month that grows in which your perception or ideal, or how you hold valuation, your correlation of the mind, so your point of reference, your vantage point shifts. It's asking where that as this month grows, you're going to see the shifts, and the mind is going to elevate in different ways. It's like being above the earth, the vistas, but do not lose yourself in the clouds. Remember to stay clear in vision, clear in shifts, secure within the unknown. Maintain a unified vision for the collective. It is important in this eminence because we have this awakening of a new mother, of the goddess, this power of love and sacrifice is being highlighted. The love and sacrifice that will nourish. Don't doubt your power, and don't doubt the power of prayer and attunement. Challenges to stay awake and present within these shifting energies or energies in motion is occurring, but it's occurring in real time. So it's not going to occur like a challenge you're thinking about from the past and you don't know how to proceed. It's different. It's almost like then is now, and what was or what needs to be is here. Everything is right now. The time shift in real time is now. Avoid searching or moving from event to event. This is because the energy is stirring to move outward and to fertilize new ground. It can catch us sometimes in going from one event or one experience to the next. And this sense of insatiability is what will keep you from the truth and feeling withheld. So it's important that you manage again your resources of how you are drawing in. Release any confinements, especially that are tethered to self-glorification. Humility is coming through very powerfully. Also, remove yourself from any of the depleting nature of gossip. This is the energy of retelling or of drama, of reportraying, because that will come from a framework of an old perception. Because anytime we retold something, it's from the past. Again, everything is moving us to the now. So notice what is occupying the mind. And whatever those energies are, especially if it's drama or anything outside of yourself, remember that is what you are using to build into your next creation for how things will order. That's the consciousness that is coming in. I'm going to emphasize this again, as I've been doing for the last 2 months, because we are in transition and now marks the period of the new dawn. You must be vigilant with your subconscious. That's the energy of the conditioning consciousness that is going to build and is going to emanate from you. Remember, energy is drawing in to emanate out. It's radiating. It is like the black hole. You will be the composition of what you take in and emanate out, which will draw you to take more in or allow you to be in neutral. It's really key not to hold on to any wisdom. If you have something that you need to share, if things need to move through you, it's understanding how this moves through you and how to bring it forward is this month. Avoid stinginess or resentment. This is a sense of separation. There's your desires, and desires are awakening within the heart, and they are calling to be received. There will become, that aspect is part and parcel to the power and the embodiment of how you move through this new, like vivifying, this new life drawing into this dharma, this new baby, essentially, this sparkly being. Not only is it's like the new generation is going to determine the means of receiving wealth. All that you desire, all that you has been laid within you, you must be that. The more you connect, the more you draw through. I want you to understand, connect to source, connect to others, connect to the values of love, of truth, of honesty. The more that you create that as your point of connection, the more points of energy you are going to draw through you, the more nectar you're going to utilize to rebuild you. The more you release, the clearer your channels are. This energy is really focused on clearing the channels. I keep seeing like fire and air moving through. It's so it's going to create new channels of reception. It's going to open the doorways. The doorways are open. You're going to see what's between both sides and how you're bringing it through. The more your channels are clear, the more you will receive. You got more flow, it's going to come through, right? Your job is to keep it clear and keep it focused. Their comforts are also going to be redefined for many of you. That's going to come through in so many different ways, but just know that comforts are being redefined. Connection and service to the fellow man is imperative. It's also rising. We are crossing the waters and understanding how the flow of life not only moves us, but we are learning how to restore life and how we deny life and how we are interconnected with all of life and how we are bringing things to life. The waters are rising. I keep seeing waters rising. People are like going to new lands. Some of you are moving home. Some of you are moving comforts, context, identifications, jobs. All of these things are shifting, but a lot of people are retreating as well, okay? There's also islands are drawing fire from the veins. It's like creating new lands. I'm just sharing what was like channeled. There might be volcanic islands, but there's also going to be from water, from the power of the feminine will birth something new, okay? And remember, volcanic soil is the most fertile soil. We are in fertilization. We are in the point of understanding how to move our fire to create something more powerful and fertile. Fire and water will move through the new channels of your body, tame your emotions, mind your desires. This is how we are drawing to us and dispersing a lot of this sensitive energy. Mental states are shifting. Mind your mental health. Sleep can shift. Mind what you are hearing. Mind what you listen to. Mind what you consume. Stay focused and trusting. I cannot emphasize trust. Do not look back and do not turn your back on what is yet to be known. Everything is coming together, but it's going to come through your inner seeing. So you got to almost tune off. Okay, this illumination and dullness, I kept seeing these, like one that's fire, but you're going to illuminate what's dull. It's like bringing new life, but you almost have to be dull and dumb and deaf to things that go against the light as well. So they're playing two things, right? Stay focused. Stay connected to your inner seeing. Turn off distractions so the inner knowing speaks louder. There's this, I mentioned this before, but it's coming back up, so I need to just say it, that there's heads will fall. Many are going to have tower moments. This is shifting the creative power of masculine, feminine, and the old order that once ruled it. There's a crumbling. I mentioned the crumbling for the last 2 to 3 months, but the heads of states, like this is the mental state. This can be, yes, quite literal heads of states, like government, but it's also like there's like a splitting that's occurring, a fracturing, a new wisdom that's rising up. For those of you that are sensitive to headaches because your screen time, draw that back because it's fire and air. It's all screen time. It's going to split your head. There's a truth that is arising that's split from the new moon. And there's like a breaking of borders. So as much as possible, don't try to create definitions or lines or distinctions. The more the energy can stay fluid, the more that it can filter into the correct ways to build what you need and what you need to carry forward. It'll illuminate and move you. It will move you through the river. Okay? Allow that wisdom to apply this new ordering of the life force. Lastly, wrapping up. Reflection is really strong. Reflection of awareness from February 25th is coming through. And Mars and Venus are in Uttara Ashada. That is going to be, they're in a monumental point of the old nakshatra that is lost, Abhijit. We've had a lot of action in this nakshatra in the last 2 years. We are reawakening a higher consciousness. The third eye is starting to awaken. The pituitary and the glands are really being affected in this full moon. This is part of the new body that is being formed from a new seeing and a unification, a new pulling from divine source is shifting. There's also, if the unification can cause a little conflict from within, and it's going to show if there's a separation of the old mind and the new. So it's just going to illuminate it, allow things to move through you. Things will settle around the first new moon in April. But you must remain aligned. These energies are creating the next cycle of blooms. So April will emerge a new feminine, a renewal of life. This is also bringing up like the matron energy, where the understanding of the feminine from higher wisdom, the action of the feminine, the fiery nature of the feminine, the how to bring law into service of humanity, how to understand and work with the laws of nature is unifying with the masculine. It's just almost as if it gets exalted into a higher state of consciousness. And so with this, we're going to see masculine and feminine come together in new ways and understand how we are interdependent on one another within our self of wholeness and with our interconnection of collective life. It's as if like symbolically, it's like the daughter is emerging, and it's going to represent how we draw divine wisdom in from protection and into unions. She's also bringing forth a lot of astral world things, untamed nature, teaching how to work with the wild. All of this is going to come through. It's going to awaken with all of you in different ways, your own wild nature and how to work with the laws of nature and the wild. This moon embodies a mother sacrificing her child. Her daughter comes forward to bring life into your new desire or the seed of creation. It's going to bring forward life into new reality. And the daughter carries forward the wisdom beyond persona, beyond the analytical mind, beyond the land of material. There's unseen depths that are going to arise, like the monsters, the unsung glory, the karmic debts, unquenched desires seem to become illuminated. It's like Pandora's box, but it's not. I can't explain it. Let's go on. Dishonesty is going to keep you seeking and unfulfilled. It's longing for mother rejuvenation. So it's important that you stay connected to the eternal truth, that you are none of this, that you are connected to the truth of consciousness and of love. It's also going to create separation if you are not owning your truth, or you are only seeking immediate worldly gain or seeking immediate worldly pleasures. This is going to create a downfall, because remember, the energy is about serving something bigger, collective, to understand self and the interconnection. This was part of the lessons from August and September, knowing uniqueness, not forsaking it, but being one with its connection with collective. Be mindful of what you need. Poisons are being reversed in order to resurrect the sun, in order to resurrect the soul's desires. You must almost give life within the worldly, like give life to something that is beyond the formatting of what you know yourself to be. Music is really being heavily highlighted. It's a vibration, a resonance that's coming through. So I really want you guys to understand this field is very sensitive right now, the field of energy. This is how you are understanding yourself, your own emanation, your own reflection. You are being able to see, because things are etherealized, how and what is drawing to you and how you are emanating out. What are your components that you are working with from within? This is going to be very, very, it's going to be more, it's going to cross beyond just you. You're going to see it across understanding other people and things. It's just emerging. It's a splitting open is coming forward. You must understand your environment, understand the waves that you bring into space. This is where music is starting to come in forward. I want you to know that music is a connection between the underworld and the new world. It is how we connect, the ways that we call into vibration and illuminate or spark life into movement. It's the way that we move between different realms as well, okay? You gotta understand your environment so you can understand how you are being led, understand what you carry so you know what weighs on you and what you can pull forward or what you need to transform. Mind everything you take in. This is a building energy, and you are emerging. You are emerging as your own foundation for the new creation of all life. Think of the music that will transcend you, that carries your energy. Be the flute. Be harmonic to life. Support harmony. The reed in the field, I keep getting this. Be ready, be hollowed, be enlivened by divine. Be the conduit. This is like fertile. This is like being the conduit of fertilizing new lands. Also, this music energy that's coming through that I'm seeing is like it's going to awaken life and connect you to deeper creative faculties in the subtle mind and the emotional body. For many of you, if you have airy, ethereal natures, Hertz healing, sound music is going to be incredible at this time, as well as yoga nidra is incredible during this time. You must understand how you are drawing the universe through you. The fabric of the field and the planets, the forces of energy that you command with your state of being is really playing heavily and is going to be awakened. Mind your being. This doing is no longer defining. It's like, no, it's not a part of this next go around. Like doing, having, that's like, it's almost breaking away. It's really, we're all seeing what the beingness is. Even in truth in our collective, you see like when people portray themselves as a certain way, but their personas are breaking, so their beingness is revealing, so their actions and their words no longer hold substance. This is shifting order. The way we understand in our external world as well as within ourself. So our sense of being is going to take a higher precedence. That's going to tune you into vibrations, somebody's vibe. Don't define it, just move with what is. Be the love. This is important because you must encapsulate. Freedom is the new expression, and new expression of self and of this world is waking up. It's a vibration is waking. It's like a drawing through you for all. This is fertilizing a fullness of the ideal self into service. There's new inner relations and recognition, integration of unknown is occurring powerfully this month. It's a refraction, again, of knowing self within a whole new world and knowing your uniqueness united in the collective and the whole. The one in zero and being the zero within one. This is a lot of relaying energy, and it's moving forward very quickly to build a new city. I keep getting this. It's a new city. You're going to see between hinges and joints, the space in between the fractures. This is also allowing you to draw divine gifts onto earth. Every thought draws from the divine stream. Know what you are birthing into this world. Know what you are creating and generating. Know how you are building your city, your world. The order will follow the nature of your mind. So allow your guidelines to be pure. Create from the higher thoughts and vibrations for this next evolution. Be there. Be where you create no separation in distance as well, in time. Focus on inner love. Focus on contentment. Remain humble. Remember your humanity. This month moves Dharma and desire forward for new life and divine connection. You're being asked to protect what's sacred. You will find courage within the heart. The mind begins service through humility for humanity. This energy is moving and dawning. Collective connection seeks higher order, values, justice, and civil duty will shift within the collective. This marks the new shift. There will be a fullness of abundance that is setting forward, and it's going to delineate how life is created, and it's going to delineate our next life cycle that is linked for the soul's higher pursuits. It's a mini epoch. I know I keep going on, but I really have to say we are a new life cycle. We really are. It's not what was, no longer exists. And I've been talking about, but it restructures the fibers for higher reception. That's what's occurring. It's the cup, but your vibration is going to be the chalice. So remember to understand the fibers that unite you and that you are calling in with your own field. It's going to help you understand greater embodied strength. It's going to work through truth and love for yourself, for life. It's going to work these forces to quell desires, rest and contentment, receive and accept. There's any bitterness and anger that is arising, it's natural, it's friction, but it must be redirected outward and upward. Clear the mind and the energy distribution. Use that fire to clear your channels. Claim your fire that arises within you. Not just passion and desire, but fire and anger. It is the same, just the two sides of the other coin. It is the same fire that transmutes and transforms. Utilize this, own it, and move it upward. Create into illumination. Create no separation from self or external. See everything as one. There's a deeper knowing that's going to come through this. And this reflection is going to reveal hidden truths. It just is. There's a freedom of expression then that's going to actually show new truths or new expression, new collaborations, new awakenings, new ways of doing and being. Mind what is arising. It's going to carry forward a unification of truth within self and all of life forms. That means the world, your energy, your focus. The wasting of life is being brought to light. The life of earth, the life of beings, the life of divine prana. We're seeing the cost of a disconnected circle or not in alignment with divine, not in line with the goddess, not in line with mothering energy, the fragmentation from source, from our own source, from our own connection to this world and how we are part and parcel. This is part of the revealing and its awakening unity. The consumption without return is going to show itself. It's going to pull your energy. Everything is a cost and an effect. Everything has an equal reception and emanation. Mind what you consume. Pay attention to what is not aligned to your center and what misaligns your life force. There will be a return of karma. You choose what you call back in, and this is going to expand. Choose something that's going to expand your abundance by different measures. Utilize these energies for a new cycle that will carry forward a new evolution of new karmas, of new ways that you are giving in order to receive. Not the ways that we are seeking reception as a form of permission to give. Everything is drawing in on itself. Contracts are coming through from the past, and now the future is being etched in the present. Clear the mind, be of nothing. Allow the law to take its own order through you and remain steadfast for truth, integrity, and the universal fiber of love. I'm going to leave you guys with this message that was channeled, and I just had to put it because it came through. So here it is. There are no mile markers up here. There's no walls to tear down or peer above. Nothing is solid, not even the ground. Can you free the mind to see, to feel, and to know beyond a form of definition, a construct, an illusion? These wisdoms, the truth emerging within you, knows the past and has prepared for the future. For it is your kingdom within. There is no ground or distance for you to cross, so there is nothing for you to be kept from. Be in reception. Sending you all so much love and many full moon blessings to you all. Ciao a tutti.